Hi there, my name is Simon Budge-Bicknell and I'm a third year architectural design student at Griffith University. In this video I'm going to introduce you to my proposal for a green urban corridor linking the high density neighbourhood of Kangaroo Point to the bustling centre of the Brisbane CBD and Botanic Gardens. The span of the site shows a very natural division of how people interact with the space. The gardens provide spaces for fitness groups, relaxation, lunch breaks, leisurely strolls or deliberate circulation routes through the Gardens Point parklands, university and parliamentary areas. The park also hosts mooring for a number of small vessels. The east has an obvious green buffer of mangroves and native flora separating the river walk from the river proper. Given the differently ranging functions and zoning of the CBD versus Kangaroo Point, it's not surprising to see a wider range of people utilising the gardens for a wider range of activities. Contextually, the two sides are incredibly different, with the CBD being taller and more concrete, Kangaroo Point being shorter and greener. The CBD side has many more feeders to the Riverwalk. The Kangaroo Point mangroves are a distinctive contrast to the concrete retention system of the West Bank. I want you to note the line of trees around each peninsula in the exploded axonometric. For inspiration, I firstly examined the 11th Street Bridge by OMA. It shares many of our program requirements and hosts them between two paths which act as rails, then nest the program under integrated green roofs. Yuyuhiro Park stacks the program vertically using a very cool algorithmically generated design. The elevated park in Chapultepec Juarez takes a similar path but allows users to easily weave through the above park, mid-shopping levels and lower transit zone. Each of these shows a slightly varied approach to separating program through either nesting, stacking or weaving. The core principles then which I took to the design stage are asymmetry, stacking, nesting and weaving. I chose to incorporate these principles into a concept taken from the structure of the mangrove trees. The green urban corridor absolutely must be bigger where it connects to the CBD and far more subtle at Kangaroo Point. This is in terms of height, width and program capacity, and this is to respect the character of each bank. The form of the main deck was informed by the approach of people to each site. I distributed the program across the plan. The mooring has been relocated to the residential neighbourhood and a new marina village creates an opportunity to enhance the ferry network for all Kangaroo Point residents and city commuters. Likewise, sporting facilities are placed close to residents at Kangaroo Point as their nearest outdoor courts are Woolloongabba and New Farm Park. Cultural activities such as performances and spectacles are placed nearer the Civic Centre on the West Bank and amenities are provided at each bank. I examined the opportunities to stack or nest program vertically, which now provided me with a 3D network to start conceptualising a physical bridge. I modelled a prototype for a multi-tiered structure using the bifurcating root system of the mangrove as inspiration for a column beam truss mechanism, and I thought it looked sound. The next approach was to see if I could muster the technical capacity to actually do this for an entire bridge. Taking inspiration from Yuyuhiro Park, this was my first attempt at producing an algorithmically generated structure using Rhino and Grasshopper. I think the structural system is quite compelling and a feature suitable to a subtropical climate. While a bit dense in these renders, I think the lighter structural system will work really well. The proposal demands substantial expansion of the landscaping and hardscaping of the entrance to the Botanic Gardens, in addition to some land reclamation. People can stay on the bottom deck to access the amenities or move across the Great Lawn and over the main deck. The amphitheatre and associated amenities including storage, production facilities, green room and restrooms are nested between each deck. The main deck follows the OMA design using paths on the peripheries as rails to host the park, public square and follies between. The planted row across the bridge makes an uninterrupted line of greenery between each peninsula as seen in the previous axonometric. Ample seating is provided, oriented towards the cliffs as this is how people currently use the West Bank. The Thornton Street access is much finer, aiming for minimal impact on the bank. The ribbon-like catwalks weave through the marina village, ferry terminal, cafe and sports facilities. The marina is positioned downstream of the bridge structure, which may offer some protection from debris in the event of flooding. In conclusion, this is a really well-considered proposal which responds well to the existing site conditions and the requirements of the brief. I hope you like it.